Listen. There are some things some people will never understand. The word is never. That means they are not made in a way to understand it. Now, there are things people can only understand through so much pain and the effort of a teacher. Now, but don't forget, understanding improves the value of people. When I became a preacher, even one of the nights it happened to me. One of the nights I was here praying, and I overused my body, and I felt it in one of my legs. And then it's like a cherub spoke to me from the center of the altar and said, you know that you cannot arrive to where you're going through strength. Then he said, don't overthrow strength. So I calmed down. Since that time, I think it was 2 days ago or 3, since that time I've been thinking about it. And I want to say to somebody here who is hearing me, you cannot get to where you're going through strength. Until the angel of wisdom came to me to tell me about manifold, I was afraid of ministry. Because I already know where I came from, and I was always being tempted by fear continuously of stopping on the way. Until I started fellowshipping with wisdom about 19 years ago, very deeply. I started fellowshipping very deeply with wisdom. It is wisdom that taught me patience. It is wisdom that taught me forgiveness. No, not forgiveness. Forbearance. It was wisdom that taught me to wait on things and develop a high level of tolerance, both for myself the things we are asking God to give us is not as important as the understanding we have. As the spiritual and mental development. Don't call this preaching. I brought understanding made me to introduce ashes. I didn't introduce ashes before 50 years. No. But the mind, the human mind should be imparted continuously, very aggressively, to be introduced to understanding. All right, let me ask you this question. Some of the things that I criticize are things I was part of. So what happened? Huh? I just expanded. I just developed, then I saw that. Now, what about if I didn't develop, I got baptized? That is why you should thank God for me, because like I'm about to end the meeting now. You should thank God for me that I didn't get married. Because if I had gotten entangled with a girl, I won't come this far. Or will I? And then it's not you that is benefiting. Huh? Some of the things I criticize, if I marry her, I'll still be doing it. Because she will cast shadow on me. And then also use her will on me. Why are you talking to yourself? Benjamin, what are you trying to say? Did your wife keep malice with you? Don't try it. Your part is a locus. Serious locus. And why do you say it's awesome? Can the other day I was telling you, and you were feeling awesome. I said, you don't know what it means for a woman to keep getting naked on your bed. It's not what I'm discussing now. How will you understand what I'm saying? Now, understanding progresses. Church, like what I said, sometimes when we say something, some people feel uncomfortable. Because you look like an anti-marriage preacher. That thing that look like anti-marriage preaching is a core of immortality. I said it's part of the core. Yes. And then when he says somebody feel apprehensive, I don't say it all the time, but it's just like a snap. So that your mind can get conscious of it. So, like what I said, that this is Jubilee time of Locust Army. And I have to be 60. Of continuous mental development. My books are now 463. Came from that thing I'm sharing on the continuous. On the continuous of basking of the mind. On the continuous. To the level now I criticize my past. As yes. I criticize my past continuously. I criticize something I was part of. Because of continuous seeking. And why continuous seeking is possible for me is because of vow of poverty. So I don't make any plan to get anything. Maybe someone's not hearing me. I say I don't make any plan to get anything. It's not, I have never planned how to get something in ministry. Principally because I don't have family, nobody's worrying me. So it enabled me to remain, first of all, it makes my mind free. And then because I'm also not disturbed. Like, I'm about to go inside. If I go, I'm done. I connect back quick. Very quickly. I will be on until I come back by 9. Undisturbed. Happened in 2 years. So when I criticize something that you saw me do in the time past, it's because I progressed. It's a privilege. Let me ask a question. Don't we have PFN? PFN. What is the meaning? Penti. They are doomed. If it's Pentecostal. The other day they came to my office. They said they are moving around to greet the fathers of the land. I was so patient. I tried to be part of them. Not take a because sometimes I see that normal. So I try to behave like a normal person. Somebody said, try to be normal. So I was acting normal. Because sometimes I'm tired of being weird. I will go on this. We have to share so that I can close. Yes. Or you want to ask a question or you got something? Yes. Yes. That. Yes. It was not the one that was in Kenya, yes. Joseph.
Joseph. When he died, that the brothers should go home with the bone. So that he died because there's part of him that God did not take.
Yes.
So it was not the harvested Joseph that died, the visionary dreamer. It was the visionary Joseph. It was the parts of him that God did not take. Just like in Moses' death. You taught us that Moses died and Satan came for his body. Angel Michael also came for his body. Angel Michael came because God...
Because he's a God.
Yeah, he's a God.
Michael came because Moses is a God.
Yes. Then Satan came because there is that part of him that was still dark.
There was part of him that God couldn't take. That couldn't go through. You know, if you see mango, not this type. If you see like the other mango that used to be yellow. Now, if you buy a mango, there is a part that can be yellow. It is still green, but you're eating it. And then there is a part that is yellow. Now, that part that is green is where Satan was staying in Moses. But he couldn't ripe.
The throne that Joseph was sitting now, it's not the real Joseph, it's the harvested Joseph
that was on the throne.
That was on the
Put
throne.
your hand together for that's what I just said. Now, what about if somebody is living and he doesn't have chance to be harvested? Because That is why these brothers didn't know him, but he knew them because they were going up and down looking for food. Some pastors run ministry of food. Just like what we were talking about RNG. The essence of RNG is when you say that God can do great miracle and then you raise money. That is the problem that Simon the sorcerer had. Great man, because he was money conscious. The prophetic, the so-called prophetic, is a form of sorcery that the target is to extort the people. It is the what? Extort the people. Now, those who want to extort the people don't care about that. Like I said when in the first sharing, I said, why will you talk against a man that is insisting only on your change? He didn't take anything from you. When I was coming here, the Lord told me, he said, tell the locust army to mind two things. I'm going to be part of, come to it in the morning. He said, the angel of death is busy with soul selling. And is delaying the work of God on earth. And then that soul selling is what is taking believers away from actual prosperity. Because soul selling diminishes the value of men. What soul selling does is it is trying to connect the dark part of man to the treasure of God, and God will not accept. I said it's trying to connect the dark side of man to what? To the treasure of God. To the treasure of God. Like the reason that you eat that mango is because of the ripe part. The other part that is yellow is more. Huh? So you use it because of that part that is more, it introduces you to the other green part that is not much. So you manage it because you manage that green part because the yellow part have introduced you to the mango. I want the pastor to ask a question on what some things I said. Yes. Donald, yes. Yes, the math, yes. You want to answer about it? Yes.
Because I know that by the time you begin to quote scriptures, by the time you begin to quote scriptures when you are sharing the word of God,
yes,
angels will come around you. Is it because you want to stay in the cloud of the angel? That's why you don't leave the mat.
That's why I don't leave the mat. No, why I don't leave the mat is because of the concentration to give out the energy. The concentration to give out the energy. Now, when you start moving from place to place, you deflate. You lose concentration. You use other means through which power is not being given to be scattering the energy that belongs to the soul. Yes, to be scattering it. You scatter it through as you're moving up and down. You scatter it as you hit your leg on the ground. You scatter it as you move. And then you keep on sweating. And then you distract yourself. Now, if you're somebody who preaches from very high intelligence, you cannot be intelligent in moving. Because if you hold your hand like this and you're with yourself, that thing I do is why I can take 25 courses. I can't tell you everything. Put your hand together for Jesus. But don't when you watch preachers, those who understand it are not many. It is not shouting a word that reveals his power. Word has power in the depth of his intelligence. The guy that said that when he met me, that the only person who brought in that place was fella. I wasn't shouting. I've not always shouted when listen. I said I've not always shouted. Is that I was talking knowledge until he was baptized for about 70 minutes. But don't you know that? Have you not noticed that if you watch me preach, I do a lot of preparation. When I know that I was going to come here this night, that time I came first. When I was there and I was talking with the local and the policemen, when I was talking with them, they didn't know I was not with them. Now that that thing I shared was going on in my mind. How best will I present it so that the people can get from it? Even that time I was sharing it, I was still thinking. The Lord give you peace. You're going to return with your water in the morning. Thank you.